Hello everyone, welcome back to another Fallout 76 video. It's opinion time today. Let's talk about the Fallout First membership. Things have gone viral, the hate has spread about everywhere, and things are really not looking pretty for Bethesda or Fallout 76. The Fallout 76 community is simply furious about what Bethesda did 2 days ago with the release of patch 14. They have introduced a monthly or yearly subscription called Fallout First, and with that they also released exclusive features that can only be accessed if you pay for this membership. Now, the problem is way more complex and deeper than most people think. And what scares me or worries me the most here is that people are jumping into conclusions before they even look at the facts. They haven't tried the membership, they are not informed at all, and they are jumping into hate. Now, that's not really the way to go, at least not if you have principles and values in life. As a great example of what I'm trying to say is my video. I published a video yesterday explaining how the membership works, including things that I have tested out and that they are nowhere to be found. Bethesda hasn't announced any of these things, but I still went out of my way, I tested it out, and I decided to share it with you guys. And I've been receiving a lot of hate for even purchasing the membership. Plus, a lot of people are downvoting it for no reason at all. I haven't expressed my opinion there. So it speaks volumes of what's going on right now. People are just very angry. And that's also one of the main reasons that made me purchase the membership, to test things out, to understand how it works, and to have enough facts for my arguments, if you know what I mean. I have watched several videos of other content creators, and I must say that it's quite degrading what people are doing about this viral topic right now. They are giving out their opinion when they hardly understand what's going on or how the system even works. Now, this can be very dangerous because people who are really popular have a high influence level. So if they say this is bad, a lot of people will say it's bad too, just because they said it. And that can be far from reality. And as most things in life, I think this topic is not just about white or black. There are several shades of gray in between, and we need to understand what's going on before we actually decide to move on to hate. Hate is a very strong emotion and act, therefore it shouldn't be something you treat lightly. Anyway, let's start with the first topic or subtopic. What is Fallout First? What is Bethesda offering? What's the value versus price? Let's get into it. What is Bethesda offering with the Fallout First member? Well, there's a couple of things. They have groups of features. They are mostly 6, but they are way more. If you have played in private servers, you know what I mean. Just like resetting servers, which allows you to farm endlessly, and it's much easier and faster to farm legendaries, for example. During events, you can have all the legendaries for yourself, and so many other things. For the sake of this video, I will stick to the very basics, but if you are interested to understand how the entire system works, I suggest you to watch the video I have published yesterday, which is basically an overview. I present you 20 essential things about Fallout First. So let's go to what Bethesda is offering exactly. There is a new Raiders outfit with the helmet, which looks amazing. There are 2 new dances, a scrap box with unlimited storage for junk, as well as some new items. There are plans for exclusive sales in the Atomic Shop as well. And there is a tent in game which you can carry on to adventure, which is basically a third free point in game right now. You get all the basics there, like a cooking station, an instrument to play, and a bed to sleep on, just for the basic buffs. And then you have dances, 2 new emotes which are basically dances. They are very cool, but the strongest feature is definitely the private servers, which work basically like adventure, but with some perks. The rules are the same, but because you are alone and you are able to reset the server, things are a little bit different, and you can imagine why. Anyway, you also get 1,650 atoms per month of subscription. They come as part of the membership. And that by itself kind of pays off the entire price, because they ask you 15 euros. And in case you are not aware of the atoms prices, 10 euros equals 1,000 atoms right now. So if you get over 1,500 atoms when you pay 15 euros, it pays off, right? So in terms of value, Bethesda is offering a lot of things. And if you usually spend money in atoms every month, then this is definitely something that you want to get, because you will save a lot of money by just getting the membership. If not, then you might have to rethink your decision. I've added this as the second point because I think this is extremely important, and I haven't seen anyone talking or discussing this so far. It seems like Bethesda is using some heavy marketing and psychological tricks to force people into buying their products, in this case, this membership. This strategy is a passive one. It's not really noticeable unless you start thinking about it. It's like a sublinear message that it's there, but in a very subtle way. They are trying to create this idea with Fallout First that if you don't purchase this membership, then you are not part of the first members. You don't have access to the prime and newest and cool features that are in the game. You cannot play in private servers, which is basically single player with added bonus. And this leaves a bitter feeling in people. It's like you are behind and you are inferior to everybody else who has this membership. It's not a great feeling, and it kind of forces you in a passive way to purchase. You don't want to fall behind. You don't want to be below anybody else. So you might just purchase this to access all these features that you might not even need. It's like a mind game from Bethesda's part, and that's not acceptable. I know that many other brands worldwide use this, but they are using this here as well. And that's why I need to understand what's going on. It's not just about the money, it's also about what they're offering, which is not even bad. They're offering a lot of value, but in the end, do you actually need it? That's the question. In my case, I don't need it at all. Because in one side, I want to access the features, I want to play in a private server, I want the costume, I want the emotes, I want the stash box, and so on. But I don't need most of the features they are giving me, and I do think the price is really high. So in the end, I will maybe end up purchasing it, even though it's not really a great fit for me. But I don't want to be deprived of these features that I actually like, and they're important in the game right now. Something else you should consider while purchasing something about the value is the quality of the service, which is not really a brand mark of Bethesda. I mean, I tried to get my membership and the first thing I got was this error. It didn't let me purchase anything. It didn't even let me edit my account. Figures out it was an issue with their website. I managed to solve it, but that's just part of many other problems with the game. I don't even need to go back for all the bugs that I have reported in my channel. If you follow me for a while, you know that I usually do that with patch notes. I add my new bugs or really nasty ones at the end of each video, but just yesterday I managed to find some new ones. Just like this loot bag bug. I died and I couldn't pick up my junk bag. It was completely bugged, as you can see. I couldn't click it. I ended up losing all my junk. Gladly, I didn't have anything special. I also found out that private servers are not working as intended. I tested it with 2 accounts, and in my main account with the membership, I hosted the server, I joined with the second account, then I left with the first, and surprisingly, I didn't get kicked on the second account. I stayed there for about 10-15 minutes, even though my main account was offline and nobody was in the server. As you can see, it's completely empty and I was offline. So why the hell didn't I get kicked? I don't have a membership here. Therefore, the servers are not working as intended. I should have been kicked and it never happened. Anyway, the most serious issue going on right now with this new content is with the scrap box, which literally ate the junk items of certain people. They added it there to save some space as everyone who purchased the membership, and then poof! All the loot they added there was gone. They lost it. And Bethesda has already acknowledged this. They are doing a maintenance right now. The servers are down and they're trying to fix this problem. But it's a little bit too late because these people will most likely never see their junk loot again. Concluding this point, it's not like Bethesda suddenly improved the quality of their services from day to night. It's still pretty much the same as before, so asking us 15 euros for a membership when their services are so buggy and awful, I don't think it justifies the price. Maybe if it was another game which is flawless and has an amazing customer support and so on, maybe it would justify, but in this case, I don't think it does. Honestly speaking here, I don't think the price is the main issue that is making people so angry about Fallout First. It's about the company's behavior. They have been deceiving us, they have lied, they have twisted their words, and it's a never-ending story. They are doing it again, and that's totally not acceptable. Now, for those here since the very beginning, I'm sure you remember this. Just before release, the developers of Fallout 76 mentioned that the Atomic Shop would be a cosmetic-only thing, with skins, with costumes. It wouldn't include any sort of pay-to-win or features or quality of life items, which drastically changed over time. We first got the repair kits, then the scrap kits, and most recently we had the refrigerator, which decreases the food spoilage rates. That's a feature. It exists in game, the backpack mod, but still. And then they also introduced the scavenger bot, which basically retrieves some junk over time. It's not much, but again, it's a feature and this one doesn't exist in game. Now, with Fallout First, the rules have changed drastically. I know, this membership is not part of the Atomic Shop, but it's still a paid thing. They are basically asking us for money for new features, and that's against their initial plans for the game, at least as far as I understood. They are even blaming it on us because they have listened to all our feedback over time, and that's why they decided to create this new membership. But how? I've never heard of such thing, not over Reddit or forums or Discord servers. Who has ever mentioned or asked for a membership for this game? Please do let me know in the comment section below, because right now to me this just looks like shameless propaganda to me. They're trying to make us believe that we as a community wanted this to happen, we wanted this feature, we wanted the membership, and we wanted to pay for more things. Which is not the case. Just look at the anger and the viral protest that is happening right now. Alright, let's move on to the next one, which is quite sensitive in my opinion. And basically, I believe that Fallout First is the true embodiment of what pay to win means. And you can argue that there is no PvP, there is no competitive here, so pay to win is quite relative. And you are probably right, but let's see things in a different way. With private servers, you have way more features than Bethesda has announced. Now, for example, you can farm as much as you want by simply resetting the servers. Let's say you really love the Boros and you find 3-5 legendaries per run. You can just reset this place as many times as you want and farm as many legendaries as you would like. Isn't that really overpowered and unfair towards everyone else who cannot do this? I think it is, but that's not the only thing that you can access with private worlds. For example, you can get all the legendaries in the world from events for yourself. There is nobody else there to contest them, so you can stay away from all sorts of griefing, including PvP. You can escape all sorts of PvP encounters, even at workshops. They are free to claim and nobody can take them from you. So it's a series of game-breaking benefits that they don't really tell you, but they are there. So it's very unfair, it's creating an imbalance in the game, and I don't think it's fine. I really don't think they should have added so many features that are only accessible if you pay. This is a minor point, but I wanted to add it here nonetheless. It's about the name of the membership. One of the first thoughts that came to my mind is discrimination. Bethesda is basically dividing their community into first members, the ones who are paying more, and everybody else. And I don't think that's a great feeling for the consumer, because it's like we are inferior because we are not paying enough. But I understand it's part of the economy of the world. It's like that about everywhere. But there is a reason why flight companies have been slowly switching their first and second class plans into something like economy and classic and business, because you can be subtle about it. You can try not to hurt the feelings of your consumer. Of course, there are different plans and you should receive value depending on how much you pay. But with so many names out there, so many words, a game rich in lore, why did they have to pick Fallout first? It's just wrong. I really dislike it. And I don't know how Bethesda ended up coming live with his idea and with his name. Now let's talk a little bit about the timing they have chosen to publish such news. I think it couldn't have been worse. I mean, they have just delayed the biggest DLC for Fallout 76. It was supposed to come very soon, and they have delayed it until next year. But that wasn't a huge surprise for us, especially because Bethesda has been delaying features lately, like the Legendary Player System, which was supposed to come out with the Nuclear Winter DLC, and they have also pushed it back to the first quarter of 2020. Even patch 14, it just came out a few days ago, and it took them over 1 month to make it live. Before, if you remember, we used to have patches every 2 weeks, something alike. Now it's taking them longer and longer to release new content and, well, improvement points. Therefore, the discontentment was already substantial, and even like that, they decided to throw a membership at us, knowing that the reactions wouldn't be positive. I mean, in which world could it be positive? I'm not so sure. I've seen a lot of people saying that this is pure greed. Bethesda has turned into a very greedy company, which they are somewhat known for from past mistakes in other games. And I can't say it's not entirely true. There is some greed in here, of course, but more than greed, I think this is an act of despair. It feels like they are running low on funds and they really need to find a new way to make more revenue from Fallout 76. Now, I'm not sure if this is a pressure from ZeniMax, who kinda owns them, or if because they are facing a lot of troubles with developing Wastelanders and they need more money to hire people to rush the development and have it completed until the date that they have announced so far, which is the first quarter of 2020. They are already late, and I'm sure they are under pressure for many different reasons. But if you think about it, it just screams despair everywhere. It's a horrible timing. They have just announced they are delaying Wastelanders, which every Fallout player is waiting for. They have delayed other features, their reputation is not the best right now, and boom, they throw a membership that they knew beforehand. Of course they knew. I mean, they are a corporate, they have so many people working for them, they have consumer behavior studies, they have market research done as well. So how can they release something like this? It's basically sabotaging themselves. It doesn't make sense, it's not greed. This is despair. They are under pressure to squeeze and maximize their profits from the remaining player base. For some reason, they are really under pressure to make more revenue with Fallout 76. Again, the reasons I don't know exactly, but it really looks like this is the scenario that they are facing. Now, while thinking a lot about this topic, I came to the conclusion that besides greed and despair, maybe this is a warning that the game is going free to play very soon. We don't have access to the numbers, we don't know how many people play Fallout 76. Bethesda only mentioned at some point that the numbers were quite nice, but they never revealed an exact number. So maybe the player base is really declining, and after what they've done, I don't think it will get any better, just saying. So the future might not be bright, and maybe we will see a free-to-play Fallout 76, maybe even before Christmas. I don't know, people are really upset, and from the comments I've been reading, it's not only a matter of disappointment, it's hatred. They are so angry with Bethesda to do such things. They are basically destroying Fallout 76, a game with so much potential. And sometimes people, players in this case, can be really unforgiving. So even if Bethesda manages to redeem themselves, maybe people won't be willing to come back at all. In the end, you should be the one deciding what's best for yourself. Don't let others influence you, and don't let others make an opinion for you. Please get informed and build your own opinion. I'm not here trying to convince you that this membership is horrible or good. I'm simply expressing my opinion based on facts, self-experience with the game and the system, as well as some other things like my personality and the way I see the world. But in the end, you should be happy. So if the game makes you happy, if you think the price they're asking is fair and it's fine for you, then go for it. Support the game, enjoy yourself, and that's what you should be doing. But there is a big but. Don't forget that the membership is full of flaws and it needs a lot of reworking, because right now things are way too unbalanced and it's so unfair towards everyone who can't or don't want to get a membership, because they basically cannot access private servers and all the benefits that this membership is offering. Bethesda has also contradicted themselves by going against their initial statements about paid features and the Atomic Shop. So think about this and make your own decision. Before I conclude this video, I want to leave with some positivity here. What could Bethesda do to improve this system? I doubt that they will remove it. So here's a few suggestions that I thought and saw in other media platforms. The first one would be a free trial. I would say about 1 week, maybe 2 weeks. 1 month is way too long. So 1 week is more than enough to understand if what they're offering is good for you, if you enjoy it, and if the price they're asking is fine for what you are experiencing. So I think that would be a very good idea. The second one would be to include private servers, this option in game, with atoms, because you can get atoms for free in game. There are all sorts of challenges, including dailies and weeklies, so that would make things a little bit more inclusive for everyone who doesn't want to get a membership. And third, they could be a little bit more grateful for everybody who was there from the start. So maybe including some of these features, or at least private worlds, to people who pre-ordered the game and paid the full price at the very start would be also something that would please the community. At least I think so, because let's be honest here, the game has dropped a lot. Right now you can find the game for 10-15 euros. Now let's compare someone who purchased the game for 15 euros with someone who paid 60 euros at the release. It's not the same amount of income, so maybe they should be more grateful for all the support they got in the past, because I'm sure that a lot of people who joined at the start are still playing the game right now. They are devoted fans, and maybe that's why Fallout 76 has so many players until this point. Alright, I bet you are wondering what's my final opinion about Fallout First member. Well, to start with, this is not a great membership. If you think it is, then fine, I respect your opinion. But for me, it really isn't. The only feature that I'm interested is the private worlds. I enjoyed playing on my own, doing things on my pace, and not having anyone to disturb me during events and so on. The costume is also awesome, I loved it, but everything else I could pass on. Now, 15 euros is a lot of money just to access private servers. Just so you have an idea, I have purchased atoms twice since the game came out. I normally do dailies and weeklies, so getting atoms for me is not a big issue. Also, this storage thing doesn't tell me much, and the tent also I don't need it at all. So in the end, I don't feel like I need this membership, and it kind of makes me sad that people who are purchasing it have more benefits than me. It is way overpriced. That's what I think, and I don't think I will get it again unless I need to test things again. Lastly, greed or despair. You already know if you watched the video. I really think it's despair with a little bit of greed. Thank you guys for watching. That's going to be everything for this video. If you are new around, I do a lot of Fallout 76 videos. Feel free to subscribe in the button below. I also have a Patreon page if you would like to support me even further. Check out the link is below. Until then, take care guys. See you soon. Adeus. Bye bye.